The nation is celebrating the 123rd anniversary of the proclamation of the Philippine independence tomorrow, June 12. And the nation's theme this year is Kalayaan 2021, Diwa sa Pagkakaisa at Paghilom ng Bayan. Ito ay sumasalamin rin sa mga kabayanihan ng ating mga mahal na guro na nagkakaisa sa paghilom na dulot ng pandemya gamit ang sandata ng karunungan upang patuloy na maging malaya at maisulong ang edukalidad laban sa kamangmangan. Patuloy tayo sa pagbibigay at pagbabahagi ng kaalaman, impormasyon na magagamit ng ating mga kaguruan sa City Schools Division of Dasmariñas. Today, June 11, 2021, we are on the second and last day of our capacity building on learning delivery hybrid in the City Schools Division of Dasmariñas. For our Day 2 attendance, please scan the QR code or type in the link on the screen. Always time in before the start of the program. The time in will close at 2 o'clock p.m. Please click Edit Your Response and select Time In option. The number of hours to be reflected in the electronic certificate of participation is a system-based generated. So, timing in and evaluation are very important. Error or failure to time in and evaluate is irreversible because it is generated in a system-based manner. As of the moment, we have 217 participants both in our YouTube account, DepEd Dasmariñas, and official DepEd Dasma Facebook page. Please invite your co-teacher, your fellow school heads to attend our virtual activity this afternoon. As we embrace, excel in learning delivery. The City Schools Division of Dasmariñas, through the Curriculum Implementation Division, has been working towards the continuous quality learning delivery since the Department of Education decided that learning must continue even in the midst of pandemic. The unceasing efforts of our division are seen and reflected in its commitment to provide comprehensive and responsive programs and projects. So please do invite and share this webinar, this Day 2 webinar of our capacity building on learning delivery for hybrid learning. It continuously envisions to be part of learners' holistic development by providing essential and lifelong learning and contextualized programs and projects that would enhance their knowledge, skills, and attitudes. At this juncture, let us stand for the singing of the national anthem, after which is an opening prayer and the singing of Dasmariñas hymn through audiovisual presentation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titin mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duweta ng magiting, sa manlulupit, ikapasisip, sa lagat ng bulok sa siway, sa langit bang harap, ang ginagam ko na at awit sa pagkaramihan. Isang ng watawat ko'y naku ay manatili. Ang bituin ng talong niya kailan ang halipatili. Lumalabaran ang ating pagsinta, buhay namin sa piling mo. Ang ibigay kaganapan ay ang amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Mas malinyas ika'y aming mahal. Ulihan kang buyan ng aming buhay. Pag-iisip, iwan katulungan. Sa pag-ubog mo'y nasimulan. Ang nakakos ang kinabukasan. Tanggay ko'y iyong kasaysayan. Mahal ko, Diyos ko ng las marinas, ikanalagay ka kahit saan man. Ang paligiran mo'y saknay ganda. Ikas mayaman, kaniyang pagana. Las marinas, inubos ng luha. Kalayaan ang inalipan. Pag-ibigan ng mga bayanin. Sa maglaban sa hangin. Ay gusto ng las marinas, ipananangay ka kahit saan man. Ay gusto ng las marinas, ipananangay ka kahit saan
Once again, we still hope and pray that we are all in good condition despite the challenges of COVID-19. As of the moment, we are 470 participants both in YouTube and DepEd Tayo official Facebook page. Once again, paki-invite po ang ating mga kasamahang guro. Tayo po ay nasa mahigit 3,000 mga guro sa syudad o sa City Schools Division of Dasmariñas. Again, for our day 2 attendance, please scan the QR code or type in the link on the screen. Always time in before the start of the program. The time in will close at 3 o'clock p.m. Wow, napaka-generous ng ating HRTD. Ano? Kung kahapon nag-close siya ng 2 o'clock, ngayon po magko-close ang time in ng 3:00 ng hapon. So, the number of hours to be reflected in the electronic certificate of participation is a system-based generated. So, timing in and evaluation are very important. Error or failure to time in and evaluate is irreversible because it is generated in a system-based manner. So, iscan nyo na po ang ating day 2 attendance at click edit your response and select time in. Mamaya naman po sa evaluation, instead na time in ang isa-select natin, pagkatapos nating i-click yung edit your response button, ang i-click or isa-select naman po natin ay evaluation. Alright, ang dami na pong bumabate ng good afternoon sa ating mga kasamahan sa ating virtual platform. Sa kasalukuyan, we have 505 viewers. We learned a lot yesterday, tama po ba tayo? From our resource speaker, Brother Ricky Aguirre, no? On the points to consider if we will transition to hybrid learning the following school year. Ano-ano ba ang mga natutunan o mga amazing moment mo? Please complete the phrase and chat in your response. I learned that and I realized that. I will read your comments later. Again, sa mga amazing moments natin, pakitype po sa ating chat box. I learned that. Kumpletuhin ang pangungusap. Or I realize that, kompletuhin rin muli ang pangungusap. Babasahin po natin ang inyong mga comments mamaya lamang. While waiting for your response, let us hear her amazing moment yesterday from the day 1 of 2 capacity building. Let us call in one of our competent teachers in the City Schools Division of Dasmariñas, Ma'am Zenny Rose Domingo, Teacher 3 of Dasmariñas Elementary School for a recapitulation. Hello, Ma'am.
Hello, Sir Jeff. Thank you for that generous introduction. Okay, so let me share my slide po. Share screen. I'm not so well versed with StreamYard.
Yes, ma'am. I already shared your screen na po, ma'am.
Okay po. Thank you, sir. Okay, so to have our recap on hybrid learning, alternative classroom teaching approach vis-a-vis alternative classroom observation. So before I start my recap, a pleasant afternoon to everyone who are here in the virtual capacity building, especially to our OIC SDS, Sir Nong Cantonhos, to our ASDS, Ma'am Badet Luna, our SGOD Chief, Sir Manny Resurrection, our CID Chief, Ma'am Gemma Cortez, to all our PSDSs who are here, to all our education program supervisors, to all the school heads from the different schools, and of course, to all the teacher participants of DepEd Dasmariñas. Hello din po sa aking mga kasamahan sa Dasmariñas Elementary School. And I'm here to do the recapitulation of yesterday's discussion on hybrid learning as alternative classroom teaching approach vis-a-vis alternative classroom observation. So yesterday's session was indeed full of new information and authentic insights coming from a very reliable speaker who has personally designed different hybrid learning programs and has been a consultant of different schools in our country and even abroad. Surely, we are all thankful of the different information shared and learning experiences imparted to us by Brother Ricky. So, to do the recap, I encourage everyone to take part in sharing what you remember and how you feel from yesterday's session through an emoji or a reaction emoji. So, please comment down a smiling emoji if what I mention or what I will mention is something you are already aware of or you already know it. And maybe it is something that confirmed already your current know-how and current pedagogical practice. And comment a biceps or strong emoji if it is something you learned from yesterday's discussion, but somehow you feel it's difficult to implement. So it's a challenge, but you are challenged to do such. And lastly, comment a thinking emoji if this learning or your learning yesterday is something that is new and you are thinking or you are planning of applying this new learning in your own school or in your own class. All right. So, and along with your reaction emojis, you may also include why that was your reaction. Okay, so let's start. So since yesterday, Mom Fraj had the hybrid learning hashtag during the introduction of presentation of participants, this time I will be sharing a recap of some notable learnings I had based on the word hybrid. So you may just comment your reactions. First one is hybrid learning. It advocates having a heterogeneous groupings within a homogeneous grouping within a heterogeneous class based on considerations such as maturity, study habits, literacy level, and academic performance. And B, blended learning. It is a learning experience that integrates or it somehow integrates online and offline or traditional face-to-face class activities in a planned, pedagogically valuable manner. And R, if it's remote blended learning, it can encompass telephone, video conference, text messages, shared cyber links, internet web, and virtual studio. Okay, I think I'm not sure if the screen displays R already. Okay, and let's proceed now to I. Instructors and facilitators teach remote and in-person learners at the same time using technology like video conferencing in a hybrid learning approach. And let's now move to I. So, according to Sir Ricky, instructors and facilitators teach remote and in-person learners at the same time using technology like video conferencing in a hybrid learning approach. And last is D. According to him, that was something very notable. I remember he said distance education design, which may involve purely synchronous or purely asynchronous or a combination of both, should be decided not just on a division or regional level. Instead, it should be decided within the school or for each class since we have different contexts to consider. Okay, so ano po kaya ang mga naging reaction ng ating fellow teachers doon sa mga concepts na natutunan natin yesterday? So, hopefully, merong nag-smile dyan at alam niya na, alam ko na to, dati pa. Or merong nagsabi na challenging, pero kakayanin kong i-implement ito. Or maybe some of you are already planning to implement this in your classes or in your own school. So, from that learning yesterday from Brother Ricky's discussion, we've truly learned a lot and we've already delved into new and innovative ideas of how we can implement hybrid blended learning. But at the end of the day, it is up to us to act on it. As what Pablo Picasso said, action is the foundational key to all success. So So we must take action if we aim for success. So that's all po. Thank you everyone, and may we all have an exciting new learning experience again today, and good afternoon po.
Alright, at meron tayo si Ma'am Vanessa Ness, no? Ang kanyang reaction, Ma'am Zen, ay talaga naka-biceps, na-challenge. Pero syempre talagang ito ay challenging naman talaga ang ating panahon ngayon dahil sa delivery ng education. Ganun din naman ang reaction ni Ma'am Jeveline Cabug Melo Serrano. Ayan. At ang ganda naman din ng realization ni Ma'am Irene Marcelo. Let me read, I realized that for us to really address the needs of our learners, hybrid blended learning is a way to go. Since it should be done on the school level, since sectioning has to be guided with many factors, kasama na nga dyan yung student-centered, then we need to be equipped with the necessary tools in profiling our students. Yun yung isa sa mga na-highlight din natin kahapon, no, na i-share Ma'am Zen ni Brother Ricky, yung profiling ng mga bata, training, remediation, and others. Much planning to really reach out to our learners and put the minds of our teachers at ease since they will ready to do their task. Ang ganda no? Naging realization din na i-share sa atin ngayon. Aha moments or aha amazing ni Ma'am Irene Marcelo. Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am. Ayan, para sa mga bata, sabi ni Teacher Jade, no? At ano nga, Ma'am Zen, yung ibig sabihin itong naka-biceps na challenge.
But you are challenged to do it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma'am Zen, for that very active way of recapitulating our learnings yesterdays. No, we have very much. We have a lot of learning yesterdays and points to address, no, in synchronous, capacitating the parent-teacher, and of course, yung mga nabanggit nga ni Ma'am kanina na different models, no, ng hybrid learning. Thank you so much, Ma'am Zen, and we do hope na dumami pa ang mga katulad ni Ma'am Zen na mahuhusay na guro ng City Schools Division of Dasmariñas. And to introduce our speaker this afternoon, who has the special task in dissecting the topic for session 2. Let us have the one of the proponents of this activity, and his wisdom about assessment is also overwhelming. Ladies and gentlemen, the Science Education Program Supervisor, Mr. Antonio Faustino. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, great day, Doc Jeff. Great day, everyone. Of course, a pleasant afternoon to the top management that we have in the City Schools Division of Dasmariñas, to our Schools Division Superintendent, again, Sir Nong Cantonhos, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Bernadette Luna, to our two chiefs from SGOD, Sir Manny Resurrection, and of course, our chief in CID, Ma'am Gemma Cortez. A pleasant day. Actually, we are really blessed today to have a speaker who is our very own, a graduate of Philippine Christian University in 2007 with a degree of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, a graduate of De La Salle University, Dasmariñas, Master of Arts in Teaching English with special skills in research and writing. He is a born-again Christian, single and available. Just ask me for his contact details. And as you can see, today I have plants with me. No? So alam na kung saan galing to. Actually, courtesy of our speaker during our activity, one of the activities that we have here in the City Schools Division. So our speaker is a former English teacher in Dasmariñas North National High School. Has been our partner in the Curriculum Implementation Division for more than 2 years, and he attended various programs and trainings in the Department of Education. He has been part of assessment in the new normal in DepEd Calabarzon and attended training workshop on pivot assessment. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone help me in welcoming our speaker this afternoon. Very humble, approachable, intelligent, and our very own education program supervisor in English to talk about assessment, Sir Noel D. Ansiado. Great day po, sir.
Good afternoon po, Sir Tony. Yan,
Yes, Sir Noel.
Yan, nahiya po akong i-on ang aking mic, ang aking camera for that generous introduction. Ano po? Siguro, I told this to one of the teachers of Cluster 5 kasi obligasyon talaga ng mag-i-introduce ng speaker na bulahin ng speaker kahit hindi na sinong totoo yung iba. Ano po? Anyway, I really appreciate your efforts, sir, in introducing me. Ano po? So, pag binubola din po ako, nambobola din po ako. So, just to avoid that, sige po, start presentation. Please allow me to extend
Maon pala. I guess ay talagang malakas ang ulan siguro sa mga different parts sa ating community ngayon. No? Medyo choppy si Sir... Choppy? Choppy ay hindi chubby, ha? Ang signal ni Sir Noel sa ngayon po.
Oo nga, sir. Parang medyo nag-i-stammer.
Alright. Medyo na po nagkakaroon ng kaunting technical difficulty or internet glitches sa signal. Opo. Sir Tony, alam natin na sa ating dinedevelop na LCP for next school year ay assessment ang natoka sa'yo.
Yes.
So, talagang pasok na pasok. Oo, ang interim guidelines for assessment and grading in line of COVID-19.
Yes, we're talking about DepEd Order number 31, no? Of course, anchored still on DepEd Order number 8 ng 2015. Ayan, napakaganda ng aking... Hindi to background, sir, eh. Kasi ito na ililipat-lipat to sa...
Totoong buhay yan.
Yes, totoong buhay. Malaki na siya, no?
Oo nga eh. Pag inilipat daw yan, sir, sa mas maraming lupa, mas dumadami. At kaya siguro ang laki-laki na din ng plant na ibinigay ni Sir Noel. Ayan. Alright. So medyo dumami si Sir Noel, no? Tama ba? Parehas ba tayo nakikita, Sir Tony?
Yes, Doc Jeff, no? Siguro yung yung adjustment na ginawa.
Sa signal ko nga din siguro. Sir Noel, naririnig niyo po kami. Ano po? Opo eh. Actually, ang dilim na nga po dito sa amin at nagpapaliwanag na lang sa akin ay ang ring light. Nakadalawang ring light na po ako sa ngayon. Okay, Sir Tony, mukhang na-extend ang today with DepEd. Magkukwentuhan ba muna tayo at nagkakaroon po ng internet connection interruption sa kasalukuyan ang atin pong speaker. At his topic, our resource speaker's topic po is a review on the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the basic education learning continuity plan. At ngayon nga, sir, palagay ko po nagkakaroon din po ng experience sa mga teachers natin na isang quarter hindi nagparamdam ang kanyang estudyante, and then towards the end ngayon nagpapasa ng kanilang mga outputs. Paano po ba ang mga pwede nating gawin doon, sir, pertaining to the guidelines din po ng assessment?
Yes, sir. Actually, that is really crucial, no? Lalo ngayon ay fourth quarter na, and looking at the promotion and then the forms that we have as we try to look at the performance of the student. We know that we are guided by policies, and pertaining to that, we are, of course, guided by DepEd Order 31, Series 2020. And timeliness is now an issue because we
Yes.
are obliged, of course, to submit grades and report the performance of the learners in connection to consideration that we are always talking in depth and as Marinas. Actually, we are doing that, and by that we still appeal, of course, to the parents and the learners to accomplish the different tasks that they have, whether it is written or performance, for our teachers to really give them fair grade
Mm.
this
At
quarter, especially for this coming fourth quarter.
Yes, sir. At na kanina nagkukwentuhan nga tayo habang nagbi-meeting si Ma'am Gemma, sorry Ma'am Gemma, about dun sa professional judgment din ni teacher at ng school head kung i-accept pa ba niya or hindi na. Kasi may mga NLPA tayo no? Yung mga non-participating learners natin na parang ginost tayo na biglang nagparamdam ulit ngayong fourth quarter, the professional judgment. At palagay ko, isa din ito sa itatakel ngayon ni Sir Noel. Welcome back,
Yeah.
Sir Noel. Opo, kamusta po ulit kayo?
Sir Jeff, narinig na ako? May audio
Yes
na po?
po.
Yes, sir.
Opo,
Yes,
opo,
sir.
meron na po.
Okay na po. Sige po. My apologies. Ano po, pag po taga-bundo po, okay, medyo mahirapan po talaga kami sa signal. Ano po, sa mga ganitong pagkakataon. Sir Jeff, i-check natin kung screen ay Sir
Yeah,
Jeff,
fine.
Sir Jeff?
Yes, sir. Opo, naka-view na po ang inyong screen sa ngayon. Ayan. Virtual training on assessment
How
across
about my audio, sir?
modalities. The audio is also good,
Sir,
sir.
yung po ating audio?
The audio is
Sige po.
medyo laksan na lang natin siguro, sir, ulit. Thank you so much, sir, and God bless po.
Okay po. Ayan po. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. DepEd Dasmariñas, it's my honor to be part of well. Ano po, as part of the continuation this
All right, Sir Noel, I'm sorry to cut you off. The audio is choppy na naman siya, sir, and opo. Siguro po, para po makatulong, ito yung nangyayari din sa Zoom. Pwede siguro tayo, sir, mag-turn off muna ng camera. Okay, and try po natin. Baka po talagang si StreamYard ay malakas kumain ng data. At very challenging din po sa ngayon ang connectivity dahil medyo totoo naman maulan. No? Ayan, sabi nga ni Sir, I don't know if it's a sir or a ma'am, Innocentes Legas. Lalaki to. Junior, challenging po ang connection. Turn off my video na lang po muna para mairaos lang. Alright, thank you so much. Try po natin, Sir Noel. Hello po.
How about this one? Okay na po kaya?
Yes, sir. Okay na po.
Sir Jeff? Ayan, sana po ay matapos. Thank you for the word. Mairaos po natin tong topic na to. Let me just present some of the things. This just was hoping to happen. They see that that's money. Yes. Why? Because the person is hoping to have put out his people in all divisions. However, the pronouncement was made. We have submitted the proposal that we were able to change the type of
All right, Sir Tony. Hello po ulit. Mukhang nag-experience po talaga Sir Noel ngayon ng challenges in terms of his connection. We can view the PowerPoint but we cannot hear you, sir. Medyo nagcha-choppy nga po siya. Pwede po siguro, sir, i-send mo po sa akin yung iyong presentation and I will present your presentation and para po audio o na lamang po yung manggagaling po. Baka po dahil din sa bandwidth ng pagbibigay po, no? As of the moment, ay isi-share ko po muna ang isa sa mga videos natin on the assessment. Habang inaayos po naman natin ang ating presentation for the assessment, review of interim guidelines, and grading in light of basic education learning continuity plan.
In its commitment to ensure teaching and learning continuity while looking after the health, safety, and well-being of its learners, teachers, and personnel, the Department of Education in the City Schools Division of Dasmariñas conforms with the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of basic learning continuity plan. As DepEd pursues learning continuity, it for schools to take stock of assessment and grading practices that will most meaningfully support learner development and respond to varied contexts at this time. This policy is grounded on the following principles. Assessment should be holistic and authentic in capturing the attainment of the most essential learning competencies. Assessment is integral for understanding student learning and development. A variety of assessment strategies is necessary, with formative assessment taking priority to inform and promote growth and mastery. Assessment and feedback should be a shared responsibility among teachers, learners, and their families. And assessment and grading should have a positive impact on learning. Depe Dasmariñas believes that action without planning is fatal. Thus, planning the assessment plays a vital role in conducting assessment correctly. Planning the assessment includes the following. Teachers need to be creative and flexible in assessing student learning while still adhering to the principles of quality assessment practice. With safety, health, and foremost in mind, assessment decisions must be made in the best interest of all learners, ensuring that all assessment activities are aligned with the most essential learning competencies, are reliable, transparent, are fair, inclusive, and equitable, are practical, accessible for both learners and teachers, give learners a range of ways to demonstrate their learning, and provide timely and accurate information as basis. In distance learning modalities, shall design assessments bearing the assumption that the learners will asynchronously and have open access to various sources. When deciding assessment methods to use, it is important to consider the following question. What is the purpose of the assessment? What will be assessed? Which method would be best allow learners to demonstrate what they have learned during their learning modality? Which method would make it easy to gather evidence of learners' progress over time? Will the assessment be individually or in groups? Will the assessment be taken at the same time or submitted within the period? How will class size affect the way the assessment is conducted? And how can technology help? In order to inform, teaching, and promote growth and mastery, assessment strategies should establish clear learning and success criteria, elicit useful evidence of learning, provide timely and effective feedback, engage learners in assessing and improving each other's work, and increase ownership of their own learning. Formative assessment is about getting better, so it should be specific, frequent, repetitive, and free from restrictions of grading. It should skills that are necessary to the attainment of learning competencies as measured in summative assessments. To evaluate student learning at particular in each quarter, summative assessments shall continue in the form of written works and performance tasks. Performance tasks independent whether in Moodle or in modular distance learning are designed to provide opportunities for learners to apply what they are learning to real-life situations. Each task must be accompanied by and appropriate scoring tools. Teachers are advised to collaboratively design and implement tasks that integrate two or more competencies within or across subject areas. Learners must have ability in the accomplishment of the performance task to consider the resources available to them. Then the teachers exercise their professional judgment in carrying out summative assessments, enough opportunities for learners to practice and to redo their work whenever necessary so that they can reach their learning targets with the least amount of pressure. Teachers should set realistic expectations and use their professional judgment to find a good balance between what is effective and what is feasible to accomplish remotely. In conducting assessment remotely, communicating the assessment very important. In communicating the assessment task, teachers must ensure that the following details are explained. Objectives of the assessment task. Role of learner or guardians. Procedure and expected timeline, and standards and rubrics. The teachers must consult the learners and, when necessary, parents or guardians to allow room for adjustments or flexibility needed, if any. Record of progress. The collection and recording of evidence of learning is integral for monitoring student learning and development. Following are some of the sample strategies for this purpose.
It takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a great effort and a lot of communities of practice to successfully traverse this challenging VUCA world. We happen. Welcome to the brave new world, anchored sipag, das magaling, at das masiglang paglilingkod. All right. So nandito na po ba ulit ang ating education advisor in English to talk about the assessment across modalities. Hi, welcome back. Kamusta po? Try po ulit natin ang inyong audio at talaga naman saya ng mga ganyang pangyayari from time to time.
Sir Jeff, is my audio clear now?
Ayan yes, po. Sir. Clear na po.
Ayan po. Sana po magtuloy-tuloy. Ano po? Ulit po, may apologies for this interruption. Ano po? Sir Jeff, please do the honor.
Okay po.
Ano ba sasabihin ko po? Hindi ako na-stress dun sa talk, kundi na-stress po ako dun sa napakadami pong interruption. Around 10 a.m. po, bigla pong nag-restart ang aking laptop. Ano po, ang 1% po ay nasa 5 minutes. Nung 20% pa lang po yung percent niya ay mag-aalauna na po. Humabol po nung hindi na po talaga mangyari. Hindi na po okay yung laptop ng kapatid ko ay buti naman nag-okay na tong laptop ko. I think this one is better. Sir Jeff, maliwanag na po.
Ano po? Maliwanag na po. So,
humabol po yung laptop sa
pag-update. Alright, sir.
Sige po. Kasi po sayang din po yung oras ng ating pong mga viewers this afternoon. Ano po? Siyempre, I have to commend Sir Jeff for that wonderful video presentation. I was in the training when it was presented to us. All division offices presented the video on how each division sees or processes the assessment. Ano po? If we're going to analyze or if we're going to somehow squeeze out what's the video all about, it talks about the DepEd order number 31. Ano po? I'm so grateful because we are going to have only the quick presentation of DepEd order number 31 because as mentioned in the memo, this is just a review. So but definitely, originally, supposedly, ang topic lang po na i-discuss ko is DepEd order number 31, but the rest of the topics will be discussed by my group mates. But I told you a while ago that this coming days, DepEd regional office is going to they are expecting that all division offices are going to have the cascading activity of this, the activity, we're going to have the cascading activity of the training that we've been attending. Actually, yung training po na ina-attendan po namin is a series. So phase 1, we have the face-to-face. Phase 2, we had online. Phase 3 is also, we had it face-to-face, and then phase 4 is online. Until now, hindi pa po namin alam kung ilang pong phases pa po ang aming pong training on assessment. That's the reason why what I'm going to present today is just a glimpse of what's going to happen in these coming days. What I'm trying to say is that we are going to tap participants of the cascading of this training, because what they want us to have is to have the rollout of this activity. But we are going to do the same. We're going to have the face-to-face online, because this is workshop. Meaning to say, we are going to have our own assessment. What I'm going to present is just what is needed to I believe, for our teachers and for our learning leaders, because definitely assessment would play a very vital role in this kind of setup. So, Sir Jeff, please. So we're going to have the first activity, and it was mentioned a while ago. Actually, we will be skipping this. The next, this slide would ask you about this one. Is it possible to see one of your expectations for this particular topic? Is it possible po ba? Using your comment section, may I ask expectations of our participants for this particular topic? Sige po. Our participants, using your comment section, please tell me one of your expectations for this particular session. So if you don't have expectation, good, because definitely what I have prepared for today would be enough to suffice the expectations or our participants for this afternoon.